Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I just want to preface this now, this is going to be one of the weirdest videos that I ever decided to make on this channel. Having said that, let's get started. So I want to briefly discuss a big theme of what this video is going to be about, which is archetypes and themes within cards. So for example, let's take Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they do this frequently with their card design. You can have decks of cards like the Elemental Heroes, or a deck that uses a ton of interesting things like Dragon cards. And people like constructing decks like this because it allows them to essentially take one of their favorite things and turn it into an entire deck. If someone likes forests, boom, forest deck. If someone likes cats, boom, cat deck. And so if you're a game developer, you have to make a ton of these themed decks by yourself. You have to design your cards to fit into decks with all of these different crazy themes. But let's be honest though, coming up with all of these ideas as a game designer can be really difficult. And so to help you along this process, I've created this mess of a video. I hope you enjoy. So to start with, there are two disclaimers. First disclaimer, the music that I just used, it was from a different YouTuber, link in the description below to see their own music and how you can also use some of it as well. And second disclaimer is that these ideas are in no particular order. I just think that these are really cool and I think that they'd be interesting to put into your own trading cards if you so chose. So now, let's get into what this video is going to be all about, which are the 10 prompts for themed decks. So first prompt, trees. I absolutely love being out in nature and hiking and mountain. Really, a lot of this is just due to the fact that there are trees everywhere. This might just be me, but I've always been fascinated by trees ever since I was a kid. Like, they come in so many different sizes and shapes and colors. And yeah, I know most of that's really just like green and orange and red and yellow, but that's, you know, still a lot of colors to work with. Some trees are really big, some are really small, but honestly, if you want to go get inspired by trees, just go out and wander around in nature for a bit and just see how much inspiration you can draw from our good friends, the trees. Prompt number 2, fire. Now, fire has been around for a very long time. Fire itself has always fascinated mankind because of what it is, light. So if you want to, base a deck you design around fire. Maybe some of your characters have candle-like features. Maybe they're just massive volcanoes. Maybe they're a fire elemental or a witch. You can even go and make your deck revolve around a different color of fire, because apparently fire comes in more than just the stereotypical color of like red and orange and yellow. Apparently it's like all of the colors. Anyways, it's all up to you. Prompt 3, which is a little bit on the opposite end of the spectrum of fire, ice. It's really cold, but it probably brings up pleasant memories of snowball fights and snowmen. And on the opposite end, it also might bring up really scary memories of hail and wicked blizzards. There's a ton of different things you can work with when it comes to ice. Ice witches, ice storms, ice crystals, and let's not forget a big one, ice cream. And moving forward with prompt 4, dragons. Stories of dragons have been told for centuries, and it's really clear to see why. Dragons are these big, powerful, majestic beasts, no matter whether it's something like the European lore, which always depicts them as these very big, evil, galumping kind of monstrosities that the protagonist has to deal with, or in more of the Asian lore, which is these benevolent, kind, enlightened, wise beings. But regardless, they're always seen as this lofty presence, and they're always seen as incredibly powerful. That's why a lot of decks are typically made and designed around dragons. Another really cool part about dragons is they come in so many different shapes and sizes. You can have something like a water dragon, or a lightning dragon, or an ice dragon, or a fire dragon, or a night dragon, or a light dragon, or literally just any kind of dragon. For whatever reason, people think that you can just fuse these ideas and concepts and elements into dragons, and it works. So when you're designing a dragon deck, come up with these ideas, or just have just like a normal dragon deck. It's all on you. Fifth prompt, gold. So now for this prompt, you can make all of your cards somehow revolve around gold. Whether it's a knight with golden armor, golden swords, or other kind of golden gear, make it all golden. You can even make golden monsters. Are your cards like mimics that hide away treasure and wait for the perfect chance to strike at their enemies? Are your cards towering golden golems? Are they golden dragons hoarding a pile of treasure? Once again, going back to that dragon example I was saying, golden dragon. It works. Prompt 6, the arts. So this is a very broad subject that you could expand to a lot of different cards. So now to start with, the arts are things like writing, music, painting, sculpture, poetry, and theater. And now you could even take one of these aspects and apply it to a deck. You could have cards that all revolve around theater and acting and drama. You could design cards that all revolve around music. So try creating different decks that have cards that all revolve around this common theme of the arts. Prompt 7, gods and goddesses. So now there are so many different deities to choose from so many different pantheons and religions. You could essentially even create one deck for different pantheons themselves. Like you could have one deck that is literally just Greek gods and goddesses like Zeus, Poseidon, and Athena. You could design a completely different deck based around the Nordic gods like Odin, Freya, Loki, and Heimdall. You could even do this with the Egyptian gods, which I know, has already in its own way been done. But you could do this with the actual Egyptian gods like Osiris, Thoth, Wadjet, and Sobek, and all these other figures you can incorporate and design into your own cards. Prompt 8, animals. So, for people who've been on Earth for a while, which is, I think 100% of the people watching this video, Earth has a plethora of unique and majestic animals. To name a few: lions, gorillas, wolves, snakes, whales, owls. Literally, any of your favorite animals can be made into an interesting archetype or theme within your deck. You want to design a sea creature deck? Do it. You want to make an African savanna deck? Go crazy. You want to make a mountain animal deck? It's all on you. There's a lot of different things and a lot of different animals and even biomes and animal ecosystems that you can choose from. So get creative and try to make an animal-themed deck. The 9th prompt of this video, gardens. Now, there are two different kinds of gardens that I'm referring to here. First, flower gardens. To start with, there are tons of different species and kinds of flowers. Some flowers are very pretty and elegant, and they're the ones people commonly think of when you think of a flower, like a rose or a daffodil or a lilac, and others are really weird. They don't really seem like any flower you've ever seen before, and it seems like something out of an alien sci-fi film. However, they are flowers nonetheless. You can even extend this garden concept to vegetables as well. And me personally, I honestly really like my vegetables. And there are a lot of different vegetables you could choose from as well because, garden. You can make cards that revolve around things like potatoes or broccoli or spinach or cauliflower. But like flowers, there are a ton of different veggies that you could choose from. You could even make cards that revolve around different gardening supplies as well, like a shovel or mulch or gardening gloves or a gardening pail. It's all on you. And now the 10th and final prompt of this video, origami. Now, little known fact, I honestly love origami. It blows my mind. The ability to make something like a real world thing out of paper is just literally insane. And you can just have like basic origami. Like you can have like this basic kind of like kindergarten craft origami where it's like, oh, I made like a little rabbit. And you can take that concept of paper folding and you can have it be so basic, and then you can have it be so blown out of proportion and make stuff that is so complex and intricate. Like, look at this! Like, how do you even, like, who are you people? Like, how do you even think of these crazy ways to just fold paper and be like, oh cool, I'm going to make a 3-dimensional dragon, and it's going to be like 2 feet long and like 1 foot high, and it's going to be made out of all these crazy folds. It's like, how do you even do this? Anyways, my rant aside, the reason why I'm saying this is origami is awesome. So why not make a deck out of this idea? You can make all the creatures of your deck look as if they were made out of origami. Like, you could have the cards, and then for the pictures be like, oh, like this is like origami fox, or this is like origami knight, and it's, you draw the picture of what that card is supposed to look like, and in that picture on that card it'll be like an origami creature or an origami object. So anyways, get creative and figure out what kinds of things you might want to incorporate for that. So anyways, everyone, that is my 10 prompts for themed decks, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and that is all the time that I have today. So as always, I hope you enjoy, and hope to see you all again next time. Goodbye, everyone.